So this is a quick demonstration of how Track90 Fleet works. Here we just see the driver overview for 3 drivers, where you can see just a very quick view of what's happening inside your business. How many drivers, how many are at risk, how many are in Schengen at the moment. We can see the drivers here. We can see how many days used, how many days remaining, and their status. So our favourite driver has been used too much. That was actual real tachograph data that was imported. It just showed up that yes, he had been fined and told do not come back until you've got days. So if we have a look at the fleet planner, here's where we can see and plan for the future. So we can see, for example, the drivers here. We can see how many days they've got left. If we look along into March, so we can see our favourite driver, his days start coming back because there's this rolling 180 days. So he can start driving again for 1 day in the Schengen area on March the 9th. But for him to get back to 90 days, you'd actually have to go right into August. And that's when his 90 days come back. Now, it doesn't mean he can't drive. What that means is you have to manage it carefully. And so you can have like 2 or 3 days here, 2 or 3 days here, 2 or 3 days here, or saving them up for when they need them. So you really do need to plan. Green is when they've taken a personal holiday. So if we look, for example, if I have Tim Tester here, and he's just rang me up and informed me that he's in France at the moment because he's taken a few days in France. This is where just we can see all the trips, planned starts and actual ends and starts, because things can happen which are unexpected. So if we look at the calendar, here we can see the calendar. If you want to put a trip in, let's put a trip in over today. So let's say he went yesterday and he's coming back on Wednesday, and it's going to be a personal trip, not a work trip. There we go. And that's in there now. And now that's also in the trips here. So we can reconcile that later. And we can also see this then on the fleet planner. So if I just need to refresh the screen, there it is. And we also see we've got 1 driver in Schengen at the moment. We also have alerts. So we can see passport alerts. That's very important. If the passport isn't valid, they're going to get turned back. This one here, John Smith, he's got the 3-month rule. We won't go into it at the moment. But you can find out when people need to make sure that they renew their passports in time. Add the details here. Import export is if you want to just import just the users. Tachograph is where you import their tachograph data. So you can do that for a single driver, or you can do that for all of your drivers at once. So if you're taking up Track90 Fleet and you've got 50 drivers, you can just download 50 DDD files. Settings is obviously just settings. We won't go into all the details here. And that's it really. So the place to keep looking at is the fleet planner. And that shows you how you can plan. If you've got 100 drivers down here or 50 drivers, then you can see exactly who's available to do the work and how that's going to affect things. Hope that helps and avoids fines, bans, deportations, and significant business disruption.